In my little scenario, I now have the names of the staff who've worked, the amount of hours they've worked each day. Both have been set up as drop-down menus. I then have a very simple formula working out the total amount of hours they've worked. I've now added this area to work out how much to actually pay them. So there's going to be a few things happening here. First of all, we want to work out how much they actually get paid for the entire week. So all the hours need to be added up and multiplied by the amount they get paid per hour. So this is a simple formula where we're going to say equals the cell where the hours have been added up, and we're going to multiply that by the amount they get paid per hour, which in our case, I'm going to make a figure up, I don't know, £8.75. Okay, so £306.25. You can see that has been set to currency, which I did ahead of time by highlighting the area there and setting the cells to be currency. So once I've done the cell here, I can use the drag bar to bring it down and fill that formula into the cells below. I now need to work out, have they done any overtime? Now for me, I'm the employer, I decide everybody works 30 hours every week. If they work more than that, they get paid a bit extra. So we can just do it visibly, but it's much better to get the spreadsheets to do it for us. So what we need is a nice simple formula that will work it out for us. In effect, what we're saying is, if this number is higher than 30, pay them extra. And the formula we're going to use is an if formula. So equals if. Here's our little drop down area of possibles that start with if. We want the if, so I double click on that. Now what we're saying is, if that cell there, so we click on it, is greater than 30, that's the logical test. If that cell is greater than 30, comma. What we want is the amount of hours is over 30. So we click on that cell again and take away 30. But if it isn't greater than 30, we just want to return 0. Okay, so the value if true is this cell take away 30. The value if false is just the figure 0. So just to show that works, this person here, Bob, has done 35 hours. That's 5 hours overtime. The rest, as it stands, haven't done any overtime. The final part of this puzzle is to work out how much to pay somebody who's done overtime. So we have to use a formula that will add the amount that's in this standard column to the amount of hours multiplied by the difference between the two amounts of pay. So if Bob gets paid £8.75 for his normal pay, and say he gets paid £10 for overtime, that's an extra £1.25. So he'll get an extra £1.25 per hour that he does overtime. So let's put together a small formula that will do that. So I want to start off with an equals again, and I want to start off by clicking on the amount he gets normally, and I need to add that to the overtime multiplied by the difference between the standard pay and the overtime pay. So as I say, £10 now would be an extra £1.25. So let's plug that in, 1.25, and then we can close the bracket, and we can find that because he did 5 hours, he gets an extra, and that doesn't seem very fair, but we can use that then to help us set a more realistic overtime amount. And if I drag down, you can see that none of these change because none of these people did any overtime. If they do overtime, you can change the numbers over here and see the numbers over here change automatically.